Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Design Flaws. This is episode 3, and I gotta tell you, before we start off this episode, spoiler alert, contents discussed in this episode may be offensive to low IQ and low intelligence hypocrites. So if that is you, I give you some friendly advice. Please escort yourself out of this show and into some more, light, more mild-mannered content for yourself. Today we're going to be doing a little recap on the Timcast IRL show from Tim Pool on his episode with Jen Perelman. And we're going to say some really nice stuff about Jen. We're going to talk about her at length and kind of break down the episode and how I felt about it. But thank you for tuning into Design Flaws, and I hope you enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It's an interesting day today, December 10th. I think we're going to have a good day. Not really. I foresee bad things happening today. Hopefully nothing bad happens today. Hopefully no one dies from the China virus today. I can't guarantee that. I am not a magician or a wizard. And that is a cat you hear in the background. She is terrorizing the set. She's ruining my life. I don't know how to edit her out of this. Unfortunately, I won't be able to edit her out of this exactly like the way you guys want me to. I'm not a fucking guru. I'm not a fucking wizard. Like I've said, I'm just a guy with mental issues on the internet. I don't have that ability to do what you are asking me to do. I tried to prepare for this show. I really did. I tried to prepare. I care about the work I do. I take my work very seriously. Let's just say that way. I take my work very seriously, and I consider myself to be a high performer, And, no one wants to sponsor this shit show. No one cares to sponsor this shit show. So, I'm left with the whole question of, do I blow my brains out on episode 10? Or do I, keep the show going along for the, 1 or 2 listeners we have right now? But, I don't think I'm doing this necessarily for the fame, obviously. I think that would be the stupidest decision to jump into a show business with the idea of fame. That's stupid because you're not going to make it and you suck. You're not talented. Every one of you people who thinks you're talented, you pride yourself on your ability to fucking, punch in a line of code that helps my fucking phone tell me when it's time to eat. You're not talented. You're part of the same system that's making the world crumble today. You're a disgusting group of people, and I do not necessarily wish the best for you. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to tell you I wish you guys well. I'll just say it. Let me put it this way. I hope that your death is not as painful, or shall I say, I hope your death isn't as painless as you think it'll be. Because, there's bodies out here, people. There's a conscience that you have to deal with. So, I like to watch the news. I like to pay attention. I like to see what's going on. I don't want to call myself, let's say, a guru or, anything like that. But, I would like to say that I watch the news and I'm able to call bullshit pretty quickly. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist. Like I've said before, I've said that numerous times on this program. Rocket science is specifically the science of shooting rockets into the sky. It's incredibly complex. I mean, it's aerodynamics, it's fucking aerophysics, it's spatial physics, you could just make up words, folks, and it'll be difficult, is the point I'm making. It's extremely difficult. But, here we have politics. And this show's about global events and politics. It's about geopolitical events. It's about, it's a little bit about Hunter Biden and a little bit of CP. It's about a little bit of that and the other. I mean, look, this is the thing, guys. I mean, you have a cultural clash. You have a cultural war happening right now, and I'm just observing it. I'm not doing anything besides observing it. So stop crediting me for. I have people coming and telling me, "Oh, you're doing your part." What? Doing what, dude? They're going to still, I'm going to get the CIA or some fucking Black Cat commando team to like, they're going to shoot smoke grenades through my windows as they come in and drag me out in my underwear in the middle of a fucking, jerk off session. I mean, this is the kind of government we live in, folks. I mean, you guys keep thinking that we have choice and freedom, and we do have choice and freedom. And, good thing our president was for that. He was okay with choice and freedom. But, now I don't know if you would call what we have freedom. I think we're pretty much past that point. You guys know, if you guys are a regular listener to the show, I'm from Dallas, Texas. I'm a native up to Texas. I'm not going to tell you exactly where, because you psychopaths will probably track it down and kill my family. So I'm not going to tell you exactly where, so don't ask. But I will say that I'm from Texas. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and we're doing pretty well over here in Dallas, Texas. But you look at the rest of the world. I don't think you could say the same about the world. And you know what? You know what comes along with the rest of the world? And when I say the rest of the world, I mean California, I mean New York. I'm talking about these shitholes, these shithole areas of the nation. I mean, these places are disgusting. I got on a plane one time to New York, and I got out of the plane, and I mean, first thing I do when I walk into society is I smell shit. And I understand you New York people love New York, and I get it. And I'm not trying to sit here and just dismantle your bullshit city the way you try to dismantle Western civilization. But, I mean, you guys suck. I mean, you guys really fucking suck. I mean, I couldn't fucking get my doorman to do his job without paying him a tip. I mean, I was like, is it that hard to do your job? Is that so difficult for you to do your fucking job? You need $3 to do your fucking job? And now look, before you call me a monster or a fascist or a Nazi or whatever the fuck the thing is today. I know some days it's a terrorist, some days it's a fascist, some days it's a Nazi, it's a neo-nationalist. I don't even know what these things mean, okay? But before you call me that, I don't think the doorman should need money to do his job, which is opening the door, okay? We're in an era where every fucking, low-wage security guy thinks they're fucking Chris Kyle from American Sniper. They think they're supposed to be defending the peace. And no, we don't need that from you. We just need you to open the door. Open the door without taking singles, and I will give you credit for your economic role, my friend. The moment you ask this guy, why do you need a tip? And he says, but you don't understand. I'm just trying to make it by. I'd be protecting the people and put my life on the line out here. I'm like, look, if someone's trying to fucking stick up this apartment building, they're blowing through your fucking head first, my friend. It's not gonna matter who the fuck is at the front door, dude. Who gives a fuck about that, dude? The doorman. The fuck is the doorman gonna do? Scream as his brains are splattering on the fucking glass door in the front? He's in the way, and then his brains just blow out on the back. I mean, I don't understand why these folks even comment. Why don't you just shut the fuck up and do your fucking job? And you think that sounds elitist and classist? No, it's actually pro-middle class. In fact, letting people do their job is actually not elitist. Now, if you were to say lock them down and then demand that they ask you for money and beg for it, similar to let's say insert Gavin Newsom or Nancy Pelosi or any of these psychopaths. I mean, these guys are functionally psychopaths. I don't think they have a fucking moral bone in their body. And I do blame them. A lot of people say, well, couldn't you blame them? Yes, you psycho. I can blame them. I can blame them because you can profit in government without fucking taking it from people. It's possible. It just takes creative work. These people are pathologically lazy. They're compulsively lazy. They're pathologically lazy. They have problems mentally at the core of their brain, which prevent them from actually doing their fucking job. And then you have people like AOC, who I don't even know where she lies on this shit. She represents a neoconservative party, yet preaches far-left socialism while not doing any of the homework. I mean, I would like to see AOC just take the SAT once. And I would love to see the score she makes, because I can guarantee you that it'll be lower than I got. And by the way, I got a low fucking score. I was on meth during my SAT, and I still outperformed my entire school because that's how inner city public schooling works, sweetheart. Now, this woman, this individual, this promising young voice in the political world, with 10 million followers, with fucking 3 trillion Twitch subscribers, and she talks about burning the rich while she has a Birkin bag, a $30,000 bag. She's like, I'll burn the rich, and I have a Birkin bag. That's great. I'm glad that you have a Birkin bag, and you're talking about burning the rich. It's very ironic, but that's great. I'm glad that America has given you that opportunity. But could you not defraud people? Do you think that'd be too much to ask for? Just don't defraud people. Don't tell people that you mean one thing and you mean the other thing. I mean, for a woman who talks about helping the middle class and be a proletariat or whatever the fuck these psychopaths run on, dude. I mean, for someone who talks about that, she really has the least substantial. Like, none of these issues have substance. I mean, her Green New Deal, it looks like the Green New Deal is like if I asked like Greta Thunberg what she thinks we should do. And Greta Thunberg is a child, so I'm not gonna ridicule a child. I'm not gonna punch down. I would never punch down. I only punch at the elites on this show. I don't punch down because, I don't believe that we should make fun of people who have opiate addictions and jerk off in the middle of the street because they don't know what's happening and they're suffering from extreme withdrawal. Even though it could be funny comedic material, I don't do it because I consider myself a social justice warrior for that. And I don't want people to think that this is just all about being elitist, but they're scum and so is AOC, right? And I think we can agree on that. I think we can both agree that AOC and people like AOC and all these cronies in these DNC style manufactured positions, they're as good as homeless people to me. I mean, I really don't see them doing anything besides asking you for money. And when you say no, they get a little aggressive, don't they? They get a little aggressive. They kind of want to, be like, hey, I'm going to encroach your personal space. I'm going to breathe on you. I haven't taken a shower in 18 days, and I haven't made a good decision in my entire life. But I'm gonna encroach on you because because I need money, and so I don't know. I think we're at the stage now where media disinfo and media misinfo is at an all-time high, and it's not just an all-time high. It's categorically just insanely high. I mean, it's ridiculous how many lies that just get published on the fucking biggest names on the planet, dude. I mean, I would suck to be a journalist right now because either your job's gonna go in the toilet once Donald Trump leaves, if he leaves. Keep in mind, he keeps saying he's not gonna leave, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it, but either your job's gonna go in the fucking toilet, or you're gonna be boring and you're gonna be a loser, and you're gonna look at. And I think that's why a lot of journalists envy people like Glenn Greenwald and Matt Taibbi. It's because they actually, the Tim Pools of the world. These guys, I don't know. Tim Pool, I like Tim Pool a lot. We're gonna talk about him. Actually, this is the point of this whole clip. This whole episode is, I wanted to react to his IRL show last night. But what I was saying originally was, I think a lot of these folks, they envy indie journalists because indie journalists really don't need to worry about pandering because they have substance, and if you have substance sells, and people care about substance, and people who are actually tuned into the right narrative of this country care about substance. We're not in a world anymore where that is difficult. I mean, I think there was a time where it was tough to be an indie journalist. And I think it was probably a little bit easier before the Trump era, and then it got really hard during the Trump era. But it was always pretty difficult, and these guys have been doing this like before Donald Trump, man. They've been doing this through Obama. They've been doing this through Bush. I mean, Glenn has outspokenly criticized everyone. He puts everyone's feet to the fire. He gets everybody. He ruffles everyone's feathers. And you can't, there's not really something you can look at him. And I see these I see these psychos, dude, these fucking nutcases. They'll talk about how Glenn is discredited. He's like a Trump campaignist. And I'm like, bro, what are you reading, dude? Like, can you not read the fucking poison that is being put out into the airwaves and just listen to, I don't know, other people who spent the time to synopsis this shit for you? Like, you fucker. Jesus fucking Christ, man. I mean, look, here's what it is.
if you are listening to the mainstream media, I've said it again, and I'm going to say it now, all right? I've said it before. I've said it just 1,000 times before. I'm going to say it now. If you're listening to the mainstream media, you're a fucking sheep. And now, before you say, oh, yeah, you quit huffing Trump's chemicals, man, or whatever the fuck stupid, lib cuck shit you say, hear me out. If you're listening and then trusting in the institutions of your government and the data that they report to you, and you're not questioning it or holding them to the fire, they will lie because they can. And that is exactly what has happened. You have not held your elected quote-unquote leaders you've not held their feet to the fire. You have not questioned them on issues like, hey, Mr. Joe Biden, Vice President Joe Biden, sleepy Joe Biden, why did you get on Air Force Two and go hang out with Chinese energy companies? And then how did you just get $1.5 billion richer after that? That confuses me. If you ask people these questions, then maybe, just maybe, you wouldn't fall for the most immediate trap of Russian disinformation. I'm at the point where I don't know if I want to blow my brains out or blow someone else's brains out. And I'm not calling anyone to violence. This is all comedy. This is all just commentary, really. I'm not going to, advocate that. But, let's just say if you're upset with the system, I don't know that a stimulus check is going to help you out. So let me just put it this way. If you're pissed that we are where we are, mobilize. Get off your ass and go do something about it. Don't do what I'm doing and just scream about it on the internet. Get up, write to people, get on the internet, find their email addresses, not their actual addresses. That's called doxing. We don't like to do that. But find their home addresses, email them, let them know how you feel. Let your AGs know that you want to be on the Texas lawsuit against these 4 states. I don't know if it's going to work. Stop asking me if it's going to work. I've listened to legal opinions on it. I've listened to both sides. I've listened to leftist legal scholars who claim it has no merit. They claim it's insane. I've listened to Senate Republican leaders in Texas claim it's insane. And then I don't know who the fuck these people are. Why are you naming yourself as a Republican if you're going to literally endorse a, potentially... I want to use the right word so they don't fucking, ban me and the CIA doesn't come and kick my face in with steel-toed boots. But if you're a Republican right now and you're calling yourself a Republican and you're telling people that, hey, I'm a Republican, guys, I'm on your team, and you're not doing the things that are on their team, guess what? You're a fucking crony. You're a fucking hack, and you probably will get voted out. And I hope that you get voted out. And I hope that while they vote you out, they find out that you've been fucking Fang, a CIA, a Chinese Communist Party spy. I hope that also happens too, which is hilarious that even happened. And we talked about that a little bit last time. I guess we can talk about that a little bit later. But the point of this episode, the point of why I'm here is because I did not like the so Tim Pool. A little background on Tim Pool. Tim Pool is a great guy. Tim Pool. I don't know Tim Pool. I don't know anyone. I don't know anyone. I have no idea. I don't know any person. I just follow his work. I've followed his work for a long time, since Occupy Wall Street to now. He's been in the business for a while, and he's pretty famous guy. I know he's been on Rogan's show, and he's a very I like him. I like him a lot. I mean, I like the work he does. I think he holds everyone's feet to the fire. I think he's fair. I think he gives credit where credit's due. I think his support of the president has been nice to see in his kind of Talkspace circle, because I think he has the right stance on things like critical race theory, the right stance on things like the warmongering. He has the right stance on populism and the benefits of President Trump to people, and I think he has the right stance on a lot of these allegations of voter fraud. I think he's actually giving them credence where credence is due. And he's not going too far into the loony shit that's kind of being floated around by QAnon on the side of the right. He has a long format podcast live show called Timcast IRL, and he has a bunch of guests on there. I tune in all the time, and I love the show. It's a great show. You get to hear a lot of different people's opinions, and you get to hear a lot of different people's perspective on the current, geopolitical climate. He's got some great guests on. I mean, I really like this guy. What's this guy's name? It's like Luke. Let's see. I can find his name right now. It's dead air. It's let's see. What's this motherfucker's name, man? Come on, give me your name. Just say your fucking name. Where is it in the description? It's like Luke Rudanowski, Luke something, Luke the other, Luke Rudkowski. Luke Rudkowski's nice. I like Luke Rudkowski. It reminds me of Alex Jones, like a younger version of Alex Jones. But I don't necessarily agree with him on a lot. So I agree with him on more things than not. But I think Tim is very well balanced. I mean, I think he really goes in on the leftist. Now, the guests he will have on the show are not always the best. And the one yesterday, well, she kind of sucked. She kind of sucked shit. I'm not gonna lie. She sucked a whole bag of gorilla dicks. Jen Perelman. Let's give you a little bio on Jen Perelman. This lady is really, truly a psychopath. I don't even know what else to say. I know that sounds harsh. She'll be like, oh, but BARG, that's a little harsh. Yeah, well, yeah, a little bit. I'm sure that she may not kill people without any remorse, but here's the deal. She is essentially a United States House of Representatives elections in Florida. Well, hold on. Who is this bitch? Jen Perelman. Why don't I just pull up her fucking name, please? Thank you. So she lost to Debbie Schultz in the Democratic primary in District 23, Florida's 23rd Congressional District. And I'm glad she did. She sucks. She's horrible. I don't know what this woman is doing in politics. All I heard, I mean, let's just go from the top. I mean, the show started off with her introducing herself and her, all of her, predilections, her positions or whatnot. And, all I kept hearing from her fucking mouth was, that she's all about policy. She's all about policy, and she's critical of the left and the far left that's in corporate media, the far left that's in Hollywood, the far left that's in every fucking sector of life now is not the far left that she is. And she's like, no, that's not the actual left. The real left is people like me. And it's like, oh, so people like you, people who got 21,000 fucking votes, and you got blown out by a 55,000 vote, like a blowout, like a 25,000, 26,000 vote lead. Are you insane? What kind of delusion is this woman suffering, bro? I mean, if I had if I was general counsel for this woman, I'd say, hey, before we go to your campaign rally, can we go to a community mental health center? I think that would be a good idea, because she kept saying things that were very, very, superficial, half-baked. I mean, I don't think this woman's fleshed out any ideas that she's actually come up with. And I don't want this whole show just to bag on her, but I kind of want to bag on her because, you put yourself in the public eye, right? You say you're you're running for the 23rd Congressional District. You're the actual left. You're not the real left, right? And you're fighting the system from the inside and all these bullshit talking points. And meanwhile, you're getting crushed. And what I didn't understand is she keeps saying, oh yeah, I'm the actual left. I'm the real left. The fake far left is everywhere else. And I'm like, oh, so you mean everywhere else besides you? So you're the minority of people who are the real left, right? The overwhelming minority. I mean, we're talking about, maybe 10, 20, 30 million people. The rest of them are like TDS monkey lunatics, dude. They're fucking lunatics. They're just voting on manufactured, evoked feelings. They're not sitting and having a whole breakdown and fleshing out the ideas of policy and really challenging their own premise. They're not doing anything that would make someone intellectually honest or intellectually consistent or intellectually, proficient at doing your job as a citizen or a representative, elected, council member, congress member, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I wrote some stuff down. I mean, I don't understand. She calls herself a Democrat, and it's like, okay, so if you're a Democrat, right, then you need to hold yourself accountable for the downfall of your party, right? And you need to be intellectually consistent with what are classically liberal and basically illiberal or classically conservative or libertarian, right? And she was all over the place from the beginning. She said, "I'm a Democrat. I only care about policy. I don't care about rhetoric." It's like, okay, well, that's not bad. That's semi-refreshing to hear. I mean, a lot of people say that, and I mean, usually they're fucking liars, and they do care about rhetoric, and that's the only thing they care about. But they say that, and you're supposed to think, okay, well, she cares about policy, right? She cares about policy, not rhetoric. So, then she makes this allegation that the left is only in corporate media and it's in the corporate elite, and I'm like, okay, well, so you're talking about everyone. So you're talking about everywhere the left is. Everybody who voted for Biden is the left. They are a part of they are, I mean, for the lack of a better word, low information operators in this huge apparatus, right? So you're talking about all these points about how she's the left, and I'm like, okay, that's great, but what makes you different, right? And then the thing that made me want to like straight up like arm myself and blow my brains out in like a public center was when she said, "Oh, I don't like Trump's policy." And I'm like, okay, well, how? I mean, how is his policy, foreign policy wise and economic policy wise? These things are classically liberal policies. They've brought jobs to the U.S. economy. They've actually, if you want to talk about individual things that Donald Trump does, you have to address it at the source of the policy and then compare it to the predecessor who wasn't that way, and then actually allege that he's better or worse. What I saw from this person was actually still TDS. I didn't see Jen Perelman have anything besides TDS. She held Trump accountable for a lot of things she wouldn't hold anyone accountable for, while actively saying, "I hold everyone accountable for everything." It's like, okay. One of the points she kept making was that, I don't like Trump's Iran policy. I don't like the Iran nuclear deal. And immediately you see the super chat blow up. You see people in the fucking live stream lose their mind because they're like, "You dummy, you're so low information that if you knew a damn thing about relations and peace in the Middle East, the Trump agenda has actually killed the least number of people, prevented the least, kind of regulated the number of people who are actually seeking asylum from those areas and refugees from those areas. He's stabilized a region. Yes, maybe he's arming the Saudis. I'm sure there are things you can say that are not necessarily the best. But if you're going to talk about his Iran nuclear deal, then do not, by any means, forget the fucking atrocities that happened in that region under the Obama presidency during 8 years of pretty much CIA, deep state, psychopathic, warmongering, nation-building agitators, dude. And people that went all the way up the chain of command, from the director of the CIA, from his directives down, from the meetings that they would have with Barack Obama, and the advice that Barack Obama would get from Hillary Clinton. These people had special weapons programs, secret wars. We were in countries we had no idea. You're clearly not and I mean, this Ian guy, fuck this Ian guy, man. I mean, I love you, Ian. If you're listening to this, I love you. He's a guy on the show. He makes some good points, and I'm not going to say he's like completely, completely ridiculous, but I'm trying to vocalize this. I haven't rehearsed anything. I'm just kind of going off the top right now, but sometimes he just sounds like he does too much shrooms. And look, I'm a libertarian. You want to fucking, put drugs in your body and kill yourself and, do whatever you want to, smoke some weed, you want to do it. Yeah, I support your right to do that, because I think that, I'm a libertarian in a lot of ways. I'm a conservative in a lot of, in the ideas of Western civilization, but in the whole drug war, I'm like a libertarian that, kind of doesn't, I can see why we shouldn't criminalize things. I can see how we should decriminalize and legalize things, but I cannot see how we should legalize heroin. So that's kind of where I am. I like how the left kind of like was like, yeah, we're the party of, criminal justice reform, legalize heroin. It's like, whoa. Heroin's bad though. Heroin like cripples, the entire community. You can release heroin into a community and cripple that community, drive down the price of real estate, drive down the wages, drive up the unemployment. So, anyways, this Ian guy keeps coming in and defending Jen, and I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up, first of all. You don't know what you're talking about. Second of all, Jen, just to kind of keep this on Jen, we'll just keep Ian out of this because he's so annoying, and I can't stand when he just chimes in and derails like very productive conversation with these stupid mushroom thoughts. But, Jen Perelman, I think it's her name, Jen Perelman, yeah. And, she claims that, Donald Trump, the buck stops with Donald Trump is what she says. And I'm like, well, the buck actually stopped on a lot of stuff with Donald Trump. I mean, the buck stopped from fucking Michael Flynn saying he wanted to be a part of the national security wanted to be part of the national security team for Donald Trump, wanted to be his chief advisor for national security. So the buck fucking stops. I don't know what history you're talking about, but she claims that she likes. So I guess this is one of the things that she claims she distinguishes from the corporate elite. She's about freeing Assange and pardoning Snowden and pardoning, a lot of these whistleblowers, which is a classically liberal thing. Now, it's to me, I don't know if I would call it classically liberal because of this, because I've met more conservative people, hardcore conservatives, like pro-Trump agenda, Christian, like motherfuckers who are just conservative as hell, who have actually said, no, pardon Assange, they're more for protection of whistleblowers than anyone from the left, any fucking person from the left. In fact, I would say that people like her, because of the fact that the right is pro whistleblowers, is anti-war, is pro withdrawal of troops, is pro protecting our military and protecting our police force and the things that hold society together, things that you can't just dismantle without consequences, right? People in her camp actually left the left and came to the right because the right is the new counter-authoritarian movement. I don't care what you think about that. It's just the facts, baby. It is what it is. I can't help you if you disagree with me. It is what it is. If you are that deluded and you are sitting in La La Land thinking, no, Trump's a boo-boo-baba racist, then guess what? You're continuously endorsing and sanctioning crime against humans at rates that have been unprecedented, that didn't happen under Donald Trump, that didn't happen under presidents that before Donald Trump came into office and gave people that transparency between the office and those top secret security briefings and the public, which, yes, criticize it all you want. People loved it, man. People loved that this guy just came out and said what he heard, okay? Yes, did it lead to a little bit of goofs and gaffes? I'm sure it did, but it's better than dementia, right? It's better than dementia. It's better than bad gaff care and Truman and Abu Shabbat pressure, all right? It's better than all that shit. So stop being this, like, fake, I hold everyone... Jen, if you're listening, I hope you never run for office. I hope no one votes for you. In fact, I hope that you rechange you actually critically think for a fucking second and stop taking the contrarian point of view, because she was contrarian through her entire thing. She claimed that Tim is a Trump apologist. Meanwhile, all she kept doing was apologizing and acting as DNC policy and DNC strategic wargaming plans and actions haven't crippled the entire infrastructure we live in. Let's just look at Trump's foreign policy. Trump's foreign policy is classically liberal. You can find that from anywhere. You can just look that fucking shit up. That's verifiable. It doesn't take someone who is omniscient to understand that, okay? You don't have to believe that Trump is bad, orange man bad, blue people bad, but orange man badder, and minority blue person better. No, bullshit, okay? It's this side versus that side. Are you pro-authority? Are you anti-authority? And she constantly glossed over so many things about Donald Trump's presidency. I mean, she continued to imply that Donald Trump had this incredible power that no one has, and he's the president. I'm like, dude, he's been the least powerful president in office, bro. He's been the least powerful president in office. There have been people in the fucking bureaucratic swamp machine that have currently and in previous history and up to now, literally now, who are going against him and undermining him at every single category, starting from the Russian gate probe, the fucking fake investigation, all the way to one of the secretaries of state, the secretary of defense, lying to Trump, saying that we're withdrawing troops from the Middle East when not withdrawing any fucking troops at all. So I don't know what world you're living in, Jen, but it ain't the world that the rest of us are living in. So I hope you understand that. I hope that this message gets to you. I hope someone sends this shit to you, because you are representing people who don't fucking exist, dude. These motherfuckers don't exist, Jen. These people aren't there. What you're talking about are people who are anti-authority. They're not in your party. Your party is TDS to the peak, to the max. It's AOC. That's your fucking constituency. 22,000 fucking votes. Are you kidding me, dude? Are you fucking kidding me? Get the fuck out of here, dude. The incumbent got 55,000 votes, Jen. 72% to 28. You got blown out in a fucking landslide, Jen. She had these half-baked ideas about everything. She talked about she said, oh yeah, she claimed that Obama had just as much, if not more, opposition coming into 2008 than Donald Trump did. I'm like, are we gonna just ignore the fact that Obama is a literal war criminal and he got a Nobel Peace Prize for literally nothing from a fucking establishment that's fake and that gives fake awards for fake accolades that didn't happen? Are you serious, Jen? Is this your party stance? Because no wonder you're fucking sucking and no wonder you're never gonna win office, dude. You should do yourself a fucking favor. Become pro-life. Become pro-life. Become someone that actually stands for something and stops letting this fake liberal nonsense go everywhere, and then run on the Republican ticket, because you'll get way more support for your dumbass ideas there than you would in your stupid fucking party. Jesus fucking Christ, man. This shit charges me up, bro. It charges me up when people like Jen Perelman are sitting in these places. Instead of going harder at the left than you do the right, you're campaigning for yourself as a unique person. No one fucking cares about your unique capabilities, Jen. Nobody gives a shit. We don't care. We don't want to know how you think you stand out. We don't give a shit, in fact. In fact, we believe that if you do feel that you're unique, you're wasting people's time. You're wasting people's time. She said, oh, I think Jill Stein's great. Wow, I'm glad that Jill Stein got 6 votes. This bitch got 6 fucking votes in the whole nation, dude. She didn't actually get 6 votes. I'm just saying, it's a hyperbole. Jesus, god damn, dude. I mean, like, I don't understand these people, man. Like, they just keep blabbering and blabbering about. She just kept blabbering. I'm about policy. I'm about policy. I'm about policy. And you know what, Tim? I love you, Tim. I think you're balanced. You take the right take. You don't give too much credence to the right. You don't give too much credence to the left. You're truly central, and I think that the fact that people call you right or conservative or alt-right or whatever is because the fact that you're too central. You're like the true definition of center, right? And I don't agree with you on healthcare policy. I don't agree with you on a lot of things. I don't agree with you on a lot of stuff, but I like that you constantly take the route of anti-authority. You remind me a lot of guys who don't necessarily have as much of a YouTube following as you and aren't necessarily as open about their personality as you. But you remind me of a lot of guys like Matt Taibbi and Glenn Greenwald and stuff. You know, so I like Tim Pool. I like Tim. I like that he has this show. It's a great show. I mean, he's big time. This guy's big time talented. He talks. I mean, the stuff that Tim Pool has said about the fake news apparatus and stuff. I mean, this is really good stuff, guys. Like, he talks about how he's had editorial pressure at Vice, editorial pressure at Disney. He's had problems. And that's like one of the biggest reasons why he had to leave was because they kept paying him, and he's like, listen, I'm not going to just keep taking your money to lie to people. So I like Tim. Tim is in the right counter-authority space. Jen, on the other hand, Jesus Christ, Jen, what the fuck are you talking about? I mean, what are you talking about? Where is your fucking, consistency, lady? I mean, I don't want to insult you, but Jesus, are you stupid? Are you a dumb person? You don't hold Obama accountable for anything he's done. You don't hold him accountable for the extrajudicial. I mean, okay, this Ian guy was talking. This guy's he derails the conversation so much. He was talking about how fucking the office of the BIJ, or they stopped reporting drone strike data to the public, and I was like, look, dude, that has nothing to do with anything, you fucking moron. Okay, Trump has been surrounded by globalists and people who are buying him with special interests since the beginning of his time. So Michael Bolton was that guy. Michael Bolton sucked, and we didn't like Michael Bolton. The Trump constituents didn't like Michael Bolton. When he fired Michael Bolton, we were so happy about that, right? And you saw a full 180. You saw hard pushes for withdrawals. You saw hard pushes for ending these forever wars and actually getting America into a better position tactically, strategically, in a place where we won't be spread too thin. We're not going to be constantly warmongering and nation building for all these weird special interests, right? It was a huge big deal in the whole political sphere, because it was like every special interest aligned against Donald Trump because of these policies, because of this 2008 firing Michael Bolton. For a while, the whole swamp thought they could keep control on Donald Trump. They thought, let's give him Michael Bolton, let's give him some things. Maybe he'll become a player for the party or for the establishment and for the swamp. But no, he very clearly, and I mean, and dude, the funny thing is that he's been actually pushing for withdrawal well before Michael Bolton. He's been actually pushing for a smarter military well before Michael Bolton. And if you look at the released data, now this is the problem with this stupid argument that Ian keeps talking about. So please shut the fuck up, Ian. Let people who actually read talk about things, please. But this is the argument again. Like the office of the BIJ and some of these governmental offices that disclose drone strike data, and they disclose like the actual extrajudicial drone strikes, and they disclose the civilian casualties and the non-civilian casualties. These offices don't disclose accurate data. They never disclose accurate data. So even the data we have on Obama is inaccurate. What you have to look for when you're looking for the actual implications of the Obama drone war program and the CIA's expansion of power and the NSA's expansion of power and the over investing in military contracts to war build and nation build, you got to look at people like Snowden and people like WikiLeaks and people like independent assessments of drone strike deaths from an amalgamation of different sources. You cannot just look at the fucking office of the BI. I mean, how stupid are you? So yes, they did stop reporting that information, and Trump did do, I would say, a decent amount of drone strikes. But even by any independent assessment, you have Obama doing 8 to 10x drone strikes minimum. We don't even know. We don't have the full scope of data. His drone war was single-handedly the most expansive drone war we've ever seen, and it cumulatively combines anyone that any other president has done, including Donald Trump's presidency. Now, by the way, Donald Trump inherited these warmongering globalist, quasi-globalist policies. So you cannot sit here and quote-unquote hold his feet to the fire without criticizing the founders of this bullshit fucking, these bullshit special interests, okay? So, Jen, I mean, you're so misinformed. You couldn't be more misinformed. Ian, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, okay? That data hasn't meant anything to anyone ever. People haven't been looking at that data and thinking, wow, looks like we know what's happening around overseas. Oh, that data never included any of Obama's extrajudicial drone strikes. That data, those Freedom of Information Acts that Obama spent millions of dollars to specifically get out of the public sphere to make sure that that information never touches the public, happened under his presidency with the intention of withholding this information from the public. So if you want to take Donald Trump being a little bit more lax and breaking more security protocols by telling us what happens in these secret security briefings, and then the actual office themselves not reporting this information, then you, my friend, are maybe kind of in the right area, but not at all. I mean, realistically speaking, if you're looking at this data and you're taking it for what it is, you're an idiot. Independent assessments on this data has shown that this data is clearly underreported. There have been way more reports, just witness reports of drone strikes than what the data has shown. And the data that they put out for Obama was totally propaganda. They put that data out. They claimed this is what every leftist was saying. Yes, Obama had more drone strikes, but Trump is on record to have more than that. No, that is what the office of the fucking BIJ put out. I don't want to know where these motherfuckers get their fucking paychecks and who they're shaking hands with, dude. I don't even want to fucking know. But I can tell you right now, people, that Jen and all these morons who keep saying they're critical of everybody, I'm all about policy. Well, you clearly know nothing about Trump policy. So you're critical of policy you know nothing about. So you're sitting here and talking about stupid ideas that don't work, like Medicare for all, and we can get into that later, but you're talking about stupid fucking ideas that don't work, that have no place in society, have no place in the discourse, and you have 21,000 people who voted in favor of it. What constituents are you talking about, Jen? What fucking 21,000 people who voted in sort of bullshit in fucking Florida, you dumb fuck. A state that very clearly spoke for the president and stood for the president 2 times. Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, some of these folks, dude, they boil my blood, man. I don't know. I got to go to multiple therapy sessions because of this kind of stuff. And, I don't want to just turn off the news because it's like I'm just like ignoring like what's happening right in front of my eyes, and I had to say something about it. But I mean, she was going after Tim, saying, we agree on more than we disagree. No, we don't. We don't agree on shit because if you were actually nonpartisan, okay? If you were actually nonpartisan, the least you would do is acknowledge the crimes Obama committed against Trump, against the government, against the people, against civilians in other nations, you would at least acknowledge that. You would at least acknowledge that. You would at least talk about how Barack Obama single-handedly, in one swift movement from maybe 3 or 4 people's opinions and advice, empowered directorates and CIA directorates and FBI directorates and put people in places to do his bidding, okay? And she talks about, oh yeah, this is one of those other points, dude, that just really fucking made me lose my mind. Trump is she claims that, again, first claim is that she's the real left and everyone else is the fake left. They're the corporate elites, right? Meanwhile, I'm not accounting for the fact that no one fucking voted for you. So you're talking about 20,000 people who voted for you and probably over 65 million people that voted for the policies of people who are in your swamp. Let's say your swamp, right? So you're the real left. You claim that the Democrats have elites. You claim the DNC has elites. All this bullshit, right? Which is, I mean, well, that part's true. They all are elites, and I mean, the fucking people on the ground are just low information operatives who are just just kind of voting with the margin of error for them to kind of manipulate the actual final outcomes. But then she claims that Donald Trump is the same thing. He's got his own interests. He's got his own thing. I'm like, I don't know what's a more obvious sign of TDS than that. I don't know what's a more obvious sign of Trump derangement syndrome than a fucking claimingly, whatever, U.S. congressional bullshit, 20,000, no one gives a fuck about person, claiming that Trump has more special interests behind him or he has higher rates of corporate elitism. It is the most one-sided rhetoric I've ever heard in my life. Donald Trump has simply, the only reason that label is attached to him, that elitist stink that you guys think he has, which he fucking doesn't, but if you think he has, the only reason that's attached to him is because mainstream media has painted him that way for the sake of appealing to their quote-unquote middle class, which, again, the people who don't watch it, which is, again, probably over 75 million fucking people, minimum, right? Minimum. Those folks don't even listen to you. So that's the actual working class. That's the actual middle class. It's the actual class of people who has to go and earn their wage by the hour, whatever the wage is, and employ people and do shit with their fucking life instead of sit there and point the finger at him. Boo, boo, bad, boo, boo, boo. Fucking nonsense, man. If you knew a damn thing about lobbyism, if you knew a damn thing about the anti-lobbyist movement and the lobbyist movement, you would know that Donald Trump has sat down with less lobbies and super PACs and raised less money than anybody in fucking presidential history, you fucking idiot. Even Bernie Sanders had more money from corporate lobbies than anyone else, dude. Than Donald Trump. My apologies, not anyone else. Than Donald Trump. Trump's donations this last time of $350 million, I believe, for... it might have been nationwide. I have to double check that. They were from people who liked him, and they used those to campaign, and it did stuff. And so, you're a complete loony. You keep every time someone criticized her for her fucking lack of consistency, she would just keep saying, "I'm about policy. I'm about policy. I'm about policy." It's like, no, you're about psychiatric mental health issues. You're about lunatic shit. Lunatic talk. This is all lunatic talk. I mean, this is just ridiculous. I don't even know, man. I'm like at this point where like these people talk and they just yap, and I'm just like, could you just shut the fuck up, Jen? Please, just shut the fuck up. Holy shit, man. Look, I understand that we're in a place now where we're polarized and all this shit, whatever. But you gotta be consistent with the authority. And if you're gonna be talking about authority, then keep Donald Trump's name out of your fucking mouth, please. Just fucking keep it out of your fucking mouth, dude. And stop calling people Trump apologists. He's got nothing to fucking apologize for, bro. All right? He's got nothing to fucking apologize for, bro. Talk to people who work in the government. Talk to people who work in the working class. They love Donald Trump. Freedom has only gone up since Donald Trump's been in office, you dummy. You fucking idiot. I'm glad you got 20,000 votes. I hope you lose every fucking race from this point forward. I really do. I hope people come out and vote against you. In fact, I'm going to lead those campaigns. I'm going to lead voter registration campaigns that specifically are designed to go against Jen Perelman, because she's nuts, man. She is nuts.
I mean, this is what you get though. You put yourself on the Tim Pool show. You put yourself in the public eye. You got to dish it. You got to take it. I mean, I'm gonna dish it. You can criticize me whatever the fuck you want. I don't really give a fuck. But this is just ridiculous nonsense, man. This whole thing is just ridiculous. I mean, I wrote notes on this shit, man. I wrote notes about every part of her argument, and none of it made sense. She talked about the Iran nuclear deal. Meanwhile, there's people in the chat saying, I'm from Iran, you fucking idiot, and you don't know shit about the status of affair in Iran. And it's like this, dude, what I hate about these people, man, is that they have like it's like she's quote-unquote claiming that people are fake woke and activists and all this stuff, and she's saying this is all the bad parts about the political sphere. And I think that's accurate. But then she goes on to do the same fucking thing, being fakely woke, being activist, claiming that, like, and then what's so funny is that if you were a fucking actually pro Assange and pro Snowden and pro anybody, pro whistleblower, pro saving lives, pro whatever the fuck you want, you would vote for Donald Trump, because Donald Trump, yes, while not being perfect, yes, while there are, Assange is in the position he is in because of some of the stuff Trump has said. I don't necessarily agree with Donald Trump and all that stuff. I agree. But you would at least recognize the clear polarity between the authoritarian impetus and motivation behind Trump and the authoritarian impetus and motivation behind people like Biden, people like Hillary Clinton, people like, dude, at this point, I don't trust any of them, dude. I don't care about Bernie Sanders. I don't care about AOC. I don't give a shit about if they don't take corporate, whatever, dude. I don't believe that. I mean, they're working, they literally are representatives of the DN fucking C, dude. This is like one of the biggest crime syndicates that we have in this fucking nation, dude. I mean, don't tell me about Snowden and Assange while literally running on the Democratic ticket, the ticket that has prosecuted more whistleblowers in U.S. history and restricted more information from the public through the Freedom of Information Act. Do your fucking reading, Jen. Stop running on bullshit things. Jesus Christ, dude. I mean, this is the problem, folks. People like her think you're stupid. They think you're stupid. They think you can't actually analyze data sets for yourself. She talked about the economy, and I'm like, dude, this criticism of the Trump economy is ridiculous. It is all based around that, minimum wage jobs, It's like, yeah, meanwhile, your party has had zero track record since the fucking model cities and social welfare programs from Lyndon Baines Johnson forward. You've had zero track record of actually driving down the rates of poverty and driving down, like this whole notion that socialized welfare is supposed to be like a stepping stone. It's literally not. People abuse it. It's abused all the time, and it literally hasn't helped anyone. I mean, these folks have this weird anti-capitalist thing, which is so critical of crony capitalism. Yet they don't look in their own fucking party and see. Wait a second, that's a crony right there. That bitch Nancy Pelosi, she's made hundreds of millions of dollars. She's a crony right there. That motherfucker AOC, you don't think she's pocketing cash on the side? She's a fucking crony right there, dude. 10 million Twitter followers, dude. Are you fucking serious? Twitter pushing all over tweets. Get the fuck out of here, dude. That's crony shit right there. Fucking, you're not well read, Jen. You're not well read. This is all comedy, by the way, folks, all right? This is all comedy. It's all comedic relief, folks. No part of this is, whatever. Fucking Jesus. I mean, dude, look, you're calling him a Trump apologist. You're saying that Obama had more opposition and then Trump did, or maybe it's comparable. No, it's not fucking comparable, dude. The CIA wasn't spying on Obama. The FBI wasn't investigating Obama. The incumbent president, the fucking sitting president at the time, Obama, didn't receive any investigation. He literally had a smooth transition of power. Any disputes at the electoral level were settled well before they've been settled now. I mean, you guys are nuts. You guys are nuts. Tim's great. I love Tim. Tim, you're amazing. Tim, you're fucking amazing. You're amazing. I mean, you got a good show going. You're really doing a lot of work for people. I appreciate you, but man, this guest sucks, dude. This guest fucking sucks. She fucking sucks. Holy shit. it's just like such a fucking ridiculous thing. I mean, dude, you can look at anything. I mean, you want to talk about unemployment, and okay, let's talk about unemployment. All right. I mean, unemployment was historically low, even after the COVID pandemic, because of Trump's non-interventionist policies in the economy. Unemployment fell right back to below Obama rates. Isn't that hilarious? Isn't that hilarious? In a global pandemic, when the Democrats tried to cripple the U.S. economy, it literally fell back into a healthy unemployment rate. It didn't go down to 3.9%, and they kept claiming, "Oh, there's no room for the jobs." This is what these people said. They said there's no room for the jobs. They said that Obama says these jobs are never going to come back. These are all lies. They're lies and myths. And it's just in the New York Times and the mainstream media just continuously says, "Oh, it's not as good as it looks. Not as good as it looks." And I mean, dude, this economy attack literally was founded after the impeachment trial fell on its fucking face. After the Senate laughed that shit out of the fucking Senate, the impeachment trial fell. Nancy Pelosi clearly, this is from Politico, dude. You can look at this shit up, man. Fucking verify this for yourself, dude. Nancy Pelosi literally shifted the entire view on Trump's economy. And then right at the same fucking time, dude, the fucking precursor for the COVID shit happened. And we know that now Fauci actually had, the Fauci and the National Health Service, the NIH, were intellectually and monetarily contributing to the Wuhan lab, dude. I mean, this is called news. This is called current events. What you guys are doing, Jen Perelman, is called La La Land. It's called goo goo gaga, put a diaper on me and tell me Trump is bad. Boo 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 boo. It's fucking nonsense, man. I mean, I don't even have to look at the drone strike numbers. I don't have to look at this stuff. I can tell you it's a lie. I can tell you it's a lie from the jump. It doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist, bro. I mean, it's just so stupid, man. This is just such a I'm sorry I'm upset, folks. I'm sorry I'm upset. But man, oh man, it's this bitch crazy, man. This bitch is crazy. I mean, I'm sorry. Jen, I love you, but I hate you. I mean, I wish you well, but I hope you never win office. I wish you well. I don't want you to. I want you to grow and become a more, well-read and less illiterate person, and stop, circulating and hypocritically circulating all these talking points. But I also don't want you to ever win any office. I mean, you're detracting votes from a legitimate movement, and you're floating around. You're literally institutionally backing DNC style Middle Eastern policy, DNC style transfers of wealth, DNC style stimulus bills. You claim you're a libertarian. I don't know how that makes sense. I mean, you literally cannot. There's no such thing as a libertarian left. That's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Libertarianism is a under the umbrella of conservatism. So, I mean, I don't know. Go to any college, go to any school. I mean, I don't know. I mean, how did I learn this in my university? And I went to a fucking lefty libtard university, and you don't know shit, Jen. So I mean, you're talking about all these things, and you say, oh yeah, the opposition for Obama, false, debunked. I mean, we know that's not true. We know that's literally not true. We know literally Donald Trump has had the least authority. That's the fucking irony of this Trump fascist, Trump authoritarian bullshit, bro. He had the least authority of any president prior. He had under his own presidency, and as soon as he got elected, he had the CIA, he had the DOJ, he had people he had the FBI, he had Comey, he had Mueller, he had all these fucking Obama-era hacks investigating him for crimes that he didn't commit. And you can look at the fucking track record. They didn't prosecute him on anything. You know what the fucking Flynn charge was? Pleading guilty for lying about talking to Kislyak. Not anything about treason, not anything about collusion. Talking on the phone with Kislyak. And the lie that you're talking about was not under oath. So it was a shitty charge. And the DOJ said to drop these fucking charges. You didn't talk about the Durham report. You didn't talk about anything. You didn't talk about fucking anything, Jen. You don't know what you're talking about. Please do the world a favor, do Americans a favor, do the 23rd Congressional District a favor in Florida, and don't run for office. Go to the fucking library, god damn it, and read. Jesus, dude. I mean, like, this is just the silliest shit I've ever seen in my life, man. Hold on, I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. There might be some dead air, sorry. Delicious coffee. I really need to get on that Black Rifle shit, man. Right now I'm on the Pete's French roast grind. And it's pretty fucking delicious, man. Tastes good even after it gets cold. So, I mean, I don't know. I wrote stuff down about the Trump economy, and I don't think I have to really defend the Trump economy. It's been pretty fucking amazing. I don't think I have to defend that. I mean, everybody who says these things, like this AOC level of criticism, it's like this young Turks, fuck you. You guys suck. You guys are such dog shit. And no one listens to you. Dude, 3 million of your subscribers watch you because Cenk is a fucking psychopath, dude. I've heard Cenk talk about like the most rapey shit on air, and then that one white bitch is like, yeah, I agree with you. And then she talks about misogyny, like the next thing. Cenk's like, I love tight pussy. And then he's like, but yeah, dude, Trump's a misogynist. Like, dude, what are you talking about, you psycho? Cenk's like, I love fucking bitches. This guy's like compensating, dude. Cenk, we know no one's fucking you, dude. We know no one's fucking you, man. We know you're not getting laid at all, Cenk. Your SJW shit doesn't get you shit, bro. They might jerk your little dick for fun. It's probably what happens. They jerk his little dick for fun, underhand. They underhand jerk him while they're at the bar, while he's sitting at the bar, because it just kind of barely props out. Watch him. He's so dude. This guy is Cenk. What is this guy's name, bro? I'm gonna put this motherfucker on blast right now, dude. These are the people that run the public discourse, folk. Cenk Uygur. I mean, I don't know, the fuck kind of person you are, man, but this guy's like the fucking silliest dude I've ever seen in my life, bro. I've watched everything he's done. It's been complete dog shit, folks. Just save yourself the time. I used to listen to Young Turks for a long time growing up, man. I thought they were cool. I thought, this is this YouTube news. This is really cool. Fucking nonsense, man. Him and Hassan Piker and all these morons, dude. These people are ridiculous, man. And it's not beef, man. I don't got hate for any of these folks. I just think you guys are just making clowns of yourself, dude. Like, you guys are sitting and talking about, all these policy standings that you guys know nothing about. You're clearly TDS. You don't have any sort of idea of anything. I mean, you guys talk about issues that affect like slivers of the population that don't even pay taxes. Like they'll literally talk about some nonsense that doesn't even affect the actual geopolitical climate or doesn't actually affect anything really. I mean, dude, didn't Bernie retract your endorsement, bro? Yeah, he did. That's hilarious. Bernie retracted. This is the LA Times, folks. Bernie retracts endorsements of Californian who defends crude sex ratings of women. Yeah, dude. You got canceled by your own folks, you fucking idiot. I mean, this is like what I find is like this is the left that Jen comes from, in my opinion, right? It's this Young Turks bullshit like world where it's like they claim to be anti-authoritarian and like pro-Assange, pro this, pro that. Meanwhile, they vote and back and they back and they defend policy plans that literally cripple the fucking world. Hand over the keys of the kingdom to the globalists. Hand over the keys of the kingdom to the fucking grifters and all of the fucking profiteers. And literally continue to cripple populations, dude. Not once will you see these folks actually sit down and criticize Lyndon Baines Johnson's Model Cities Act. They think this guy's a hero. They think this guy's a fucking hero. They think this guy, just because he did the Civil Rights Act, he's a fucking hero. That's what these people think, dude. I mean, this is the people you deal with, bro. This is the people you're dealing with right now. You're dealing with folks who literally don't understand a damn fucking thing about the world. They don't understand a damn fucking thing. It's just ridiculous, man. I mean, they get views, they get rewarded. It's the SJW complex. This whole machine and model works out for these psychopaths to continue spewing nonsense. Meanwhile, every piece of time they take up on someone's airwaves, they are literally wasting time. You are literally in bed with the enemy, you motherfuckers. You're in bed with the enemy. I'm going for everyone today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going for everyone today. We're not fucking stopping today, bro. I mean, Jesus, dude. This is just insane. I mean, you don't talk about ethnic employment success. You don't talk about the actual growth of manufacturing jobs. You don't talk about that. You don't criticize Obama when he literally lied to people's faces saying that these jobs are never coming back, and Trump brings them back. You never talk about when mainstream media and news articles are saying, oh, these jobs don't exist. They're never going to come back. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, oh, well, they did. They did.
You guys thought that this was unsustainable for the economy. Weird. You guys are backing people who love regulating unemployment because they love the ability to keep a certain group of people unempowered while telling you they're empowering you. This is your fucking party, folks. This is a DNC right now. Maybe you should reevaluate yourself, guys. Maybe you should reevaluate all your fucking party positions and all your nonsensical positions that you guys continue to talk about. It's just so bullshit, dude. It is so bullshit. It's just the most bullshit fucking existence. I could never imagine being a fucking writer at the Young Turks. That must be horrible, dude. That must be literally like every day you go to TrumpDerangement.net, you see what orange man boo-boo did bad, and then you say Biden's going to be better. Fucking nonsense, man. This guy went to Wharton School at Penn. Yeah, doesn't make you smart, buddy. A lot of motherfucking idiots coming out of Penn, bro. A lot of idiots coming out of Penn. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Chanked. This guy's a fucking hilarious. This guy will literally talk about like borderline sexual assaulting women, dude. Like, I mean, I don't want to, fucking have this whole Young Turks sue my ass for, lock me up in litigation. But I mean, you can go look it up on YouTube, folks. Like, this guy will talk about things and say that, like, he tries to be funny. It's like, bro, you're not a comic. You're a moron. You're an idiot. You don't have any talent. You just are projecting how little pussy you get, how little actual ass you get, how little kills you get. You don't get any kills. You don't get any bitches. You don't got nothing, right? You're projecting that onto the world, and then now you're saying that, yeah, I love when girls just don't say shit and they just come in like, this is how this guy talks. I just love when he's like a fucking lunatic, man. Like, he's like, I just love when girls just come in and they just tell me that they don't like PC culture and they just like suck my dick and shit. It's like, whoa, dude, this is a news show. You guys are literally like push to kids. Like, kids kids watch your shit, dude. Kids who can't even vote watch your shit. Kids who don't even pay. That's the funniest thing about these folks, dude. Half their subscriber base doesn't even pay taxes. They don't even vote. They're 17. They're 17-year-olds, unless they're in Georgia. And you can fucking vote at like 14 if you want. As long as it's against the president. As long as it's against the president, folks, you can only vote as long as it's against the president. If you're 16, you're trying to vote, you cannot vote for Donald Trump. You can only vote for Joe Biden. I mean, come on, dude. This is just ridiculous. I mean, look, I'm not. This is not. I got nothing but love for Tim Dillon. Ian, I love you. Not Tim Dillon. Sorry, I love Tim Dillon. He's hilarious. But Tim Pool. I got nothing but love for Tim Pool. Ian, I do love you. I think you mean well. I think that we do agree on a lot of the flaws in our government. I think you're spending too much time focusing on things that aren't really there with Trump. I think that if you actually look at independent assessments of data right now, you will see that even after after the office of the BIJ and these offices stopped disclosing data about the drone strikes, you'll find that Donald Trump has still done less drone strikes because you can actually, there are data analysts who organize incidents reports, they organize witness reports, they organize reports from people across the world, and they use estimations and calculations, and their estimations are very, very fair. They're not unfair at all. They're not biased. These people are, classically anti-authoritarian, classically against drone warfare, and they do hold Trump's feet to the fire a little bit, and there was some bad moments under Michael Bolton, but this idea that Ian kept speculating that, it could have been way more than Obama, it's like, no, dude, Obama killed, like, some of these numbers literally look like, I'm talking about, dude, 20,000, 30,000 plus people, and that's like, those are like lowball estimates, okay? Like, what the BIJ reported themselves was 6,000. 6 fucking thousand. Are you kidding me? Do you think I'm developmentally disabled or something? Like, do you think I can't like understand how a drone strike works? Drones often kill more than one person, and if you look at the number of drone strikes we had, there was well over, like, there was at least hundreds of drone strikes in a month at the highest, sometimes up to 1,000 with Obama, okay? So you can look at Trump's drone strike numbers, and in the Michael Bolton era, they were kind of like getting a little, like, again, I'm saying, people didn't like it. Trump supporters didn't like it. We didn't like him being with Michael Bolton. We didn't like that shit. We hated it. But guess what? He moved on from it, and we're going to give him credit for that, because that is called being accountable for your fucking actions. Not like what Obama did, Jen. I mean, you're so stupid. I find it hilarious, Jen, that you pride yourself on being the counter-authority movement while being literally not counter-authority at all, and then claiming you're not left while literally doing everything a leftist does. It's hilarious.
It's hilarious. It's like this. There's some leftists out there who are just pure TDS. They vote Biden. They have no reason why they vote Biden. And there's some leftists out there who are psychopathic enough to not, because they have an ego that's big enough. They have an ego that's big enough. I have a lot of friends like this too, man. A lot of friends like this where, very much like Jen, who claim that they're about policy, right? They know nothing about the policy. They claim they're about holding everyone's feet to the fire while they don't do it equally. And they claim that they're the real left and they're the pro-Assange and pro-Snowden. And it's like, really? Are you? Then why do you endorse people who literally screw up the fucking world? Okay? These are the people that tell you that they like rhetoric, and then Obama conducts 8 secret wars, and they're like, oh my God, that's bad, but at least he didn't say anything racist. This is the people you're dealing with, folks. 28% of the 23rd Congressional District barely give a fuck about you. Do yourself a favor. Go to a fucking political science class, please. Go to one. And then come back on the Tim Pool show, and maybe you'll have some change in opinion. Because you're insane, dude. You can pick any metric. You can pick any fucking metric, man, and Donald Trump crushes it. This whole wage argument against the economy, all this bullshit, bro. It's fucking nonsense. Wages went up in less years than they had gone up in 20 years, dude. So maybe it wasn't 100% higher like you fucking psychos want. You guys want Trump to do God's work, yet you want to vote against him, and you're gonna vote people who will never do anything you ask for. That's people like Jen. Jen is as bad as QAnon for me, dude. Because you're not holding anyone's feet to the fire. You're claiming you are, and you're misinforming people. You're claiming you're about policy, meanwhile being absolutely worthless about policy, just completely worthless. Nothing worthwhile. And literally not one policy she could criticize about Trump. Dude, Tim Pool wasn't even pushing back on her that much, dude. He was being nice because I think Tim likes her, and I think she's probably a nice person, but she has no business in politics. So let's make that very clear out there. I'm not here to talk about how nice she is. I'm talking about how shitty of a politician she is. Excuse me, how shitty of a politician she is. But I just don't understand these folks, man. I don't understand them. I don't understand how they sit and they just talk about it's just such stupid people. Just idiots, such morons, man. Dude, I don't speak for everybody, but I speak for a lot of people. I speak for a lot of minorities. I speak for a lot of folks who are tired of you, Jen. We don't care about your fucking your selective bias, your fucking fake wokeness, and all this bullshit, bro. We don't want to hear how you're different from the left. We want something different. We want actual American first policies. We don't want people to be suffering here. We want unemployment to be low. We want wages to be high. We want taxes to be low. The people have fucking spoken, dude. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here, bro. 4 urban centers, 4 urban areas in the nation that reported more voter turnout and more absentee ballots, which had no serial number matching. No signature audits. And she's sitting here talking about this. I'm like, dude, you're a nut. If you're anything at all empirical, you would straight up talk about the issues that are at hand today, regardless of whether it gets you deplatformed from your stupid Democratic National Convention shit or not, dude. You know what's funny, Jen? You're never going to make it anywhere. You know why? Because you're constantly defending a party of people, a group of people, and you claim you're not defending them while literally defending them. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to tell you that you've dissociated from reality. I don't know how to do that. I'm not a medical professional, which is why I've been saying numerous times, get help, seek out a professional, go to a life coach, figure out how to be morally consistent, figure out how to be morally righteous, and understand that the exact positions you take are why you will never make it anywhere in politics, and especially never anywhere into the Democratic Party. Because people like people a lot better than you with a lot less clear bias. Fucking obviously less clear bias. Like Bernie Sanders, for example, got the whole shit stolen, my friend. 2016, DNC, look at the Russian leaks, look at the emails that WikiLeaks dropped. Look at what James O'Keefe has said. Look at what anybody in the business of being anti-authority and counter-authority has said. And understand that counter-authority is specifically a movement that now is firmly resolving in the conservative world. It is not something that any Democrat that tells you that they're counter authority, they're pro Assange, they're nuts, they're insane, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, okay? They don't know what they're talking about. Any one of these people, any one of them that tells you this shit, they don't know what they're talking about. You need to call them out, folks. You need to call them out, all right? And I understand it's tough to you don't want to get in trouble with your friends, you don't want to get in trouble with your family, but this is what you have to do. You need to call these people out because these people are constantly, literally, they're invading the space. They're literally running disinformation campaigns against good people like the president and good people like pretty much the most of conservatives. The most conservatives are just good folks. And they're not low information folks. They vote based on policy. They vote based on results. They actually vote based on promises kept versus promises made. And guess what? Donald Trump has kept more promises than anyone else has kept. And you can look at the literal individual issues of Obama. You can look at anything he said. You can look at, there is just a plethora of information for people like Jen Perelman to be, because if you really want to do something, Jen, let me tell you what to do. Come out against these people in strong fashion and rebrand the party yourself. Otherwise, shut the fuck up and stop taking up the airwaves and wasting people's time. Because people don't care to listen to you, okay? Let me just get that straight. I don't care how many followers you have on Instagram. You had 21,000 votes. 21,631, 28%. You lost by over 25,000 votes. You lost by more votes than were casted to you because you suck. Because you suck. Your ideas suck. You clearly haven't fleshed out shit. Your policy sucks. It's all garbage, okay? And if you knew a damn fucking thing about the geopolitics, I honestly wish that Luke and Tim pushed harder on you because you were crumbling, man. Every time that you had to defend something that the president rightfully did, or you had to defend, or every time that you had to give credit to the president, you continue to hypocritically just lapse over how Obama did the same thing. This idea that people look at the trending of the bad parts of the nation, and they're like, dude, this was only happening at a higher extent under the Obama presidency, and that means literally anything, bro. I've spent the time, I've researched it, I'm telling you this. This is verifiable. Look it up, folks. Look it up. Email me. Send me your hate mail. Tell me you want to kill me. I don't care, but I'm telling you, these are real things, man. I'm a brown dude, bro. I'm not a white dude. I'm not a white supremacist. I'm not a Nazi. I'm not a fascist. I'm just for sensible policies by sensible politicians, and I like that Donald Trump is anti-establishment. He's a populist. She literally, dude, that was another thing, man. That shit boiled my blood. She said Trump's not a populist. Then what is he, you fucking moron? If he's anti-establishment, then what the fuck could he possibly be? She claimed Bernie was a populist. I'm like, bro, Bernie has more non-populist ideas than anyone in the fucking populist world. Modi in India, populist. Boris Johnson, kind of a populist, turning into a globalist. Trump, a populist, against globalists, firmly. Come on, man. Look, it's nonpartisan to want to pardon Snowden and pardon Assange, and I think Assange needs it more than Snowden. I think Assange is in a worse place than Snowden. There's a lot of whistleblowers that are going to be under a lot of there's the Ukraine whistleblowers, a lot of folks. There's a lot of people who are whistleblowing, and it's tough. It's tough right now for whistleblowers, but it's been as easy as it's ever been. Under the Bush and Obama administration, more prosecutions, especially specifically the Obama administration, by the way, very specifically. You can listen to John Kiriakou on this, but under the Obama administration, there were more prosecutions of whistleblowers and more actual restriction of those prosecutions from the Freedom of Information Act. So, Jen, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. You clearly don't know a damn thing about policy. You clearly don't even know what a real apologist is because you're literally a DNC apologist. You're overlooking the taxes and regulatory benefits. The stock market criticism is hilarious. People act like people's 401ks aren't tied up in the stock market. People act like the stock market crashing in 2008 didn't lead to huge deficits. People act like stock buybacks don't protect people's incomes. Look, I understand that crony capitalism sucks, guys, but it's not worse than anti-fascist anarchy, bro, okay? So let's stop acting like this globally socialized society is going to be so much better. Let's give me a fucking break, man. Shut the fuck up, please. Just shut the fuck up. You don't talk about the actual wage growth. This is, by the way, the wage, you can look at New York Times. I'm pretty sure they've talked about the wage growth. I mean, I'll have to pull up those sources and we'll have to break them down a little bit more. But I mean, this is all unscripted right now because I don't know. I'm more in like this, like, I'm just upset by this stupid person who claims that she's like a smart, anti-authoritarian, sensible Democrat. But she looks like more like a con job to me. I mean, I don't know. I lose with these people, man. I'm tired of folks telling me that they're for the right. I'm tired of, that's my thing, man. The Republicans have already, in massive fashion, this is the biggest thing, in massive fashion, Republicans have come out. They've outspokenly said they don't like their establishment players in their own party. Republicans have outspokenly said we don't like Mitch McConnell. We didn't like Ted Cruz at first, and we got Ted Cruz to endorse the president. We didn't like a lot of people. Mike Pompeo became a staunch president supporter. Once Chris Christie, the Bushes, a lot of folks, we forced them to back our president because we cared, and we were tired of people taking advantage of our vote on the conservative appeals and then doing warmongering, drone strikes, and all sorts of crimes against people. We like Western civilization. We like this pushback against critical race theory. We like this pushback against this postmodernist shit. We like this lack of leaning in and pandering to the social justice world. And we made our representatives, our elected representatives, do their job. But Jen, people like you have failed at that utterly. And meanwhile, you're totally not accounting for the machine that's causing that failure, the DNC. You're constantly talking about all this stuff about I'm pro policy, I'm about policy. No, you're not. Nothing you have said has stood up yet. You're pro policy, but you're not. Like, again, we can go over it again, guys, because I can't help it. I mean, this is just like when people are this dumb publicly, you have to do your part in letting them know that they're stupid and they should reevaluate their life decisions, okay? Because this is ridiculous. You got to let these people know that they're dumb. They don't have any business in the public discourse. They should probably shut the fuck up and go back to school, and not a school that everyone else paid for. Let's start with that. So she says policy. Okay, again, you don't acknowledge anything good happening under Trump policy. You claim that the Iran nuclear deal is bad. You claim that Trump's Iran policies are bad, and you like Obama's Iran policies when there's a plethora of information showing you that's not true. There's a plethora of, again, this doesn't take a rocket scientist. You just have to Google. You have to read, use DuckDuckGo. Try to learn, try to learn. Give yourself the opportunity to learn. Stop restricting your mind to these stupid talking points. So, you're critical of Trump policy, not all critical of Obama policy, so you're an idiot. You're an idiot about the Trump-Iran deal. You're an idiot about the authoritarian complex of Trump versus Obama. You're an idiot about the opposition that Trump versus Obama faced. You're a moron. Obama was not opposed. He was just incompetent, okay? Obama was not opposed. He was not opposed by people. He was simply an incompetent person. He was an incompetent person who had a Democratic majority in the House and Senate for 2 years of his first term and didn't do shit, okay? And so, and the ACA, you guys talk about the ACA, talk about healthcare. You guys are so stupid. You're so dumb. She's like talking about Medicare for all. And I'm like, she's like, the hand that feeds me is medicine. It's like, maybe that's why you're a privileged fuck, Jen. Maybe it's because you don't know a damn thing about it. Yeah, look, guess what, bitch? I'm from a family of doctors too, okay? A lot of people from a family of doctors. That doesn't uniquely qualify you to make stupid claims on like a fucking largely televised show, you fucking moron. Give me a break, man. Okay, she said that, my husband wouldn't want, his pay going down or something. And I'm like, but he's like, there's so much loss in the system. It's like, okay, so then tell me how the fuck the ACA or any leftist policy is going to help that. And don't quote me some stupid globalist study that tells you that. These people literally make their own studies. They make their own studies telling you the ACA was amazing. They make their own studies telling you that the Medicare for all, Bernie's Medicare for all is amazing. They brush over the fact that it's going to cost $30 trillion. They claim it's going to save this much money. It's like, no, we had less financial deficit. We went less into debt. We deficit spent less on healthcare before the ACA. The ACA drove prices up across the board, and the ACA was one of the largest transfers of wealth that we've ever seen, and no one talks about that. No one talks about how Obama, in one singular bill, added $8 trillion to the deficit or $7 trillion to the deficit, and handed that out across a bunch of different hospitals and a bunch of different healthcare administrations, and that none of that money really went to doctors, folks. None of that money went to doctors. None of that money went to the talent, okay? None of that money ever went anywhere. I mean, it literally all went to healthcare administrators, to people in lobbies. It didn't go anywhere besides that. Obama was a crook, folks. He did not do anything. That expanded coverage you've seen with the ACA didn't actually drive down any death metric or any mortality rate in the healthcare world. People are still dying of myocardial infarctions. People are still dying of strokes. People are still dying of all sorts of stuff. So you're a fucking loony, Jen. You're a fucking loony, and I don't know how else to put it. You don't have any sort of semblance on how the economy works. And you're still backing a bunch of people who think printing money is the best way to do it. Because for them, it doesn't matter if they devalue the middle class's currency. Because they're not the middle class. They can devalue their currency all they want. Their 100 billion will become 10 billion, or 50 billion, or 70 billion, or it'll become less, basically. They'll still have billions. They don't give a shit. The fuck are you talking about, Jen? You know, she talked about Kanye. Get the fuck out of here. She's like, oh, Kanye, stay in your lane. Kanye would get more votes than 21,000. What kind of moron are you, dude? Bro, she says, stay in your lane. What? Excuse me? Stay in your lane? What? Stay in your lane. So, because Kanye West, I mean, this is one of the biggest pushbacks from the left of the Kanye West, phenomenon is the moment he started actually aligning with sensible voices like Candace Owens, sensible people like, before you say, oh, Candace is a radical. No, go challenge what she says. Stop looking at her presentation and go challenge her individual assertions. And you literally will lose every time because it's intellectually better than yours. Okay? So just because Kanye comes out with the Christian, voice and is clearly more looking towards more of a market economy and looking to reform a lot of things that cause loss, and he still has progressive outlooks with like a very much a smaller government, more pro-freedom world. I mean, people hate him. And I think Jen is just jealous that Kanye was probably going to win a presidency or win any office way quicker than she would. Because, I mean, and that's not just because he's a famous and all-time great musician and, producer, but it's because his ideas are legitimately sourced from people who actually have something important to say. I mean, people clown on Kanye for the whole, slavery was a choice thing and stuff, but you got to look at, you're talking about a guy who had some mental health struggles, and he's getting more and more eloquent by the day, ladies and gentlemen. Kanye West is only getting more and more eloquent. He's not getting less. That should scare you. That means he's getting smarter, he's getting sharper, okay? And he's actually now able to vocalize his opinions a lot better. And people were all going against him. Oh my God, he's just a nut, he's a loony. It's like, really? Maybe you're afraid of the fact that people actually like his ideas and that they would vote for him way more than they vote for your sorry ass, Jen. I mean, come on, stay in your lane? Bitch, you have no lane. You shouldn't even be in the political lane. You have 21,000 votes. I mean, this is hilarious. There isn't even a Wikipedia page on this bitch, man. I mean, I don't even know this person could be like a fucking Mossad agent for all I know. Yeah, Jesus, she sucks, dude. She's horrible. Please don't vote for this person, man. Please vote against this person. I really hope you do. I really hope you vote against this person. She sucks, man. She claims that she's a fucking she claims that she's all this, I don't know. All these morons, dude. All these, Andrew Yang and all these idiots. They're just such idiots, man. They're such stupid people. They're trying to, my issue with it is that, like I said, we've held our party's people's feet to the fire. We've turned people against us, and we created things like the Lincoln Project because we didn't endorse them. So they literally aligned with the DNC and said, we're going to be never Trumpers. We don't like Mitt Romney. We don't like anyone. We don't like any of these people. We like Donald Trump. We like America first. We like protecting our people. We like keeping taxes low. We like keeping our small businesses strong. We like keeping our working class strong. I mean, we appreciate real folks who do real work in the real community, not corporate fat cats, not, psychopathic lunatics, none of that shit, man. We have held our people's feet to the fire, whatever the fuck you want to say, man. Yet you guys haven't, Jen. You guys didn't. You didn't. And if you think you did, you're an idiot, Jen. You're a moron because you didn't. You didn't hold anyone's feet to the fire. You didn't help anybody. You just continued to, basically, I don't even know. You basically just continued to push fake woke. It's like, how can you call people fake woke while being fake woke, Jen? How can you call people not the real left while being everything the left is, which is hypocrisy? It's all hypocrisy, people. I'm sorry that this is so vulgar, and I'm sorry that I'm just so upset by this, but I just can't stand idiots, man. I just can't stand idiots. I don't like when people are just so stupid. I'm moving the mic around. Sorry, that's what that noise is in the background, guys. But I can't help but get on the air and just yell at people because I don't think that they deserve any credit. Like Jen Perelman, I'm sorry, you don't deserve any credit. I don't give a fuck about what you've accomplished. Just that simple interview on Tim Pool's show shows me that you're a complete loony. You don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about Kanye. Dude, Kanye, his plan for healthcare was better than anything that you morons spend billions of dollars on think tanks to come up with, dude. Kanye talked about getting people Kanye talked about protecting the income of the talented people in healthcare, not the healthcare administrators, not the technocratic class, not the healthcare executive CEOs, the elite that align with lobbies and push for things like the ACA so they can get more money from the government to continue to dish out shittier and shittier healthcare and engage in all sorts of crony capitalism. Kanye thought about making the market ethical by removing this waste and bringing up the voice of the average doctor and the average nurse and letting them stipulate how healthcare should be run. That's called constructive, Jen. And if you knew a damn thing about it, you wouldn't be so immediately triggered and outspoken by Kanye. And honestly, Tim and Ian and all you guys, I'm kind of not gonna lie, I'm a little underwhelmed by you guys' opinion on Kanye. You guys really, if you guys are able to understand the Trump populist movement, then Kanye isn't that much harder to understand. So I'm actually kind of surprised that you guys just conceded with her on that. To me, I think that the whole purpose of your show should be to basically make people rationalize their opinion. If she says something bad about Kanye, you should be like, why? What about it? What did you not like about his plan for healthcare? What did you not like about his plan for this and that and the other? And why do you think that his voice wouldn't be an actual more equivalent voice, right? So some of these things, folks, you got to realize that these people are frauds. These people, Jen is an idiot. Jen Perelman, I hope you lose. I wish you well. I hope you learn. I hope you grow. But I hope you lose, man. I hope you lose. And I don't know. I just hope that you don't win. I hope that you just don't win. And I guess I don't know. I can't see are you running for something, Jen? Are you running for some bullshit, I guess? I don't know. I hope you lose. Whatever you're running for, I hope you never get office. You're an insane person. You can't rationalize a single thing you said. She couldn't even rationalize her opinion on the policy of Iran. She literally is backing a policy of Iran that mobilized more people in ISIS, killed more American soldiers, pushed out more refugees from Iran than ever, persecuted more Christians, did everything wrong, every fucking thing wrong. Her policy on Iran, she's backing the Iran nuclear deal, all of that shit. She's so funny, man. She's so funny. I'm amused, man. I'm amused by the fact this person calls herself I'm amused that she calls herself she tries to characterize herself as anti-authority, and the only two anti-authoritarian things I heard from her was Snowden and Assange. But even that was in a vacuum, because if you're pro freeing Snowden and Assange, and if you're pro pardoning Snowden and Assange, then you gotta be against everything the fucking left has done, man. Every fucking thing, dude. Everything. Their policy, their attack on Michael Flynn. Dude, it literally, there's a list of this shit that you should be against if you're for that. Which is why, again, the party of freeing Julian Assange, the party of any of these things. This entire party is the Republican Party, folks. It's the Republican Party. This entire anti-authoritarian movement, this entire anti-establishment movement, this entire counter-authority push, all of this is this. I mean, the one thing I kind of agree she said was that she kind of criticized the media, but not enough. I mean, she clearly does not know what real media bias is. I mean, Tim Pool is amazing, and I think he could have pushed back on her harder. I don't think he did because I'm guessing that, he he appreciates her on the show, and I understand he's running a show. It's kind of like the Rogan situation, right? You can't expect Rogan to always take the right opinion or express his opinion because, well, he's got to run a show that's fairly open platformed. And even though the left isn't platforming anyone who actually has something of substantial value to share, he platforms people who he's equal. I will say he's fair, and I think it's so funny because that Destiny guy, the other guy who was on the show, is a complete joke. I mean, dude, I've never seen a more uninformed person than Destiny, man. I mean, these lefties are so low information. They have so little operating information on the current global state of affairs, and they have such little understanding of globalist and anti-globalist and authoritarian and anti-authoritarian views. And I mean, the one sensible thing I think she said was that that politics is a circle, right? Or at least political ideologies is a circle, and you can essentially be, basically she said that, the far left and the far right authoritarian regimes kind of meet at the middle in a totalitarian worldview, kind of like how, like, for example, if you're like a far right, let's say you're I guess that's such a stupid word. It means nothing now. Nazi means literally nothing now because we've watered that word down so much. But let's say you're a fascist, like a true fascist dictator. And let's say you're a socialist dictator. Those are both dictators, right? Those are both they only operate, or a communist dictator, right? They only operate under totalitarian order. They don't operate under they don't operate under free reign. So you can really only have those things under those orders. So, I mean, she doesn't talk about anything. She doesn't talk about, gas and fuel prices. I guess she said she was pro fracking, but it was weird. She's like ambiguous on it. I think, what happened is that she didn't, I don't think she's ever actually had to rationalize any of her opinions. And this is a common phenomenon on the left, is they don't actually have to rationalize their opinions. They just continue to simply glean into the appearance of being woke and very little into the actual rationalization of why. Like, they never will create a pros and cons list, right? And if they do, it's very superficial. And I think if you looked at Trump-Iran policy, if you look at the historic peace deal, if you look at these foreign policy initiatives from Donald Trump, you rationalize them. It's very easy to rationalize. It's like, and actually is classically liberal. That's the funniest part about it all. On the political compass, Trump is classically liberal. Isn't that hilarious, guys? That more people in the Republican Party, isn't that funny? Isn't that kind of funny, guys? Isn't that just hilarious that Trump actually unified more people on the right and left than any other fucking candidate in history? And Joe Biden ain't going to do that at all? And that's a joke even to assert that is just hilarious. It'll laugh you out of the fucking room, man. I hope you never have a platform to speak. I mean, Jesus. Like, look, I love everybody, all right? I wish everybody well. I don't wish ill onto anybody, but I do think, Jen Perelman, you should never win in a political race. You should definitely take the opportunity to learn things. Read books. Reading books is good, Jen, and it's a lot better than sounding woke and sounding like you're a counter authority voice. Read into the CIA. Read into the expansion of the CIA under the Obama administration. Read into the drone war program. Look into the independent assessments. Look into the independent data. Then calm yourself on those things, and then realize why President Donald J. Trump is the best president we've ever fucking seen. Understand that at your core. Because if you don't understand that, then you, my friend, have no place being in office. Because the people of this country don't want people like you, Jen. We don't want people who masquerade on being more for liberty while supporting institutions that have chronically abused it. We don't like it. We don't like people like Pete Buttigieg. We don't like people like any of those guys. That's why those guys don't work, okay? And whenever they tried to work with Bernie, they stole it from him. I mean, the Bernie stuff's hilarious, dude. They literally were like, well, good job, Bernie. He's like, well, but what about the he's like, now I want free education for all. And, I can't do a Bernie accent. Fuck Bernie Sanders. But, These people, I mean, they stole the election from Bernie Sanders because he was not going to align with the institutional backings of the party. And then they got his endorsement, Jen. So what are you fucking talking about? That Trump is this and that and the other. Your criticism should only be of the left, Jen. Because the only thing that's happened in the right in 4 years, by the way, record time, is that the right became a party of the person, and it became a grassroots movement, and it became a party of people. It never started. It started as a party of corporate elites, as a party of a lot of bad special interests. But guess what, Jen? It's held there. We've held our elected officials to their feet to the fire. We've held them more accountable for shit. We've criticized and ridiculed them, and we've reformed them. And we're the only party that's done that. So shut the fuck up, please, Jen. Please shut the fuck up. Do yourself a favor. Stop embarrassing yourself. Get better, do better, be better. Jesus Christ. I mean, every single claim you made was nonsense. You have no policy. You have no policy that you've actually rationalized. Your overview on healthcare is a joke. You're not qualified just because you're. I mean, if we're gonna say Ben Shapiro's wife is a doctor and he's not qualified, then we can clearly say that you're a moron and you're not qualified to talk about healthcare because you're not a doctor, and you're not a medical professional, and you're not an economist, a strategist. You're literally nothing. So, let's make sure that you don't. Let's make sure no one gives a shit about you for that stuff. You don't know what you're talking about when it comes to Medicare for all. You're not actually being nonpartisan when you look at loss. You're not actually being nonpartisan when you analyze how the loss affected people, how the losses in the system affect people, how it devalues our dollar. You have no idea what you're talking about economically. Just pick any metric and I'll tell you how Trump wins. Pick any metric. Make a rebuttal to this, Jen. Make a rebuttal to this. Pick any metric. What the fuck is that noise? That was weird as fuck, bro. See, that's what I'm talking about. The CIA is going to kick my shit in, dude. The CIA is going to literally Jen's going to make some fucking deep state phone calls to the CIA. They're going to send some fucking assets after me. Like black cars are going to convene on my fucking apartment building. They're going to shoot, smoke grenades through the fucking window. And I'll be like, no. They're going to drag me out in my fucking underwear, man. Mid-jerk session, I'm telling you. It's going to happen. It's just one of these days, folks. One of these days, they're going to come out at me. But they're going to fucking come out and fucking try to take me down. But not today, folks. Not today. Today we're good. Today we're good. Jen, you're just an idiot. And I know I've been saying that over and over again. And I've been saying this in circles. We're just talking in circles now. But I just need you to know, Jen, you're such a moron. And you have no accountability for your side. You have no business talking about the Trump side. You have no business talking about the conservative side. You clearly don't listen to enough conservative voices. You don't have any interest to unify people. And I need you to do research, Jen. I think you should have a homework assignment. You should do some research. Let's get you some homework assignments. Let's make sure you actually I don't know. Let's make sure you actually do something because, you got to do better than 21,000 votes. You got destroyed, Jen. Debbie Schultz fucking destroyed you. Like, holy shit, man. That's hilarious. I hope you continue to lose. I hope that you don't make it in politics because, we have too many people like you. We are bloated in this system with people like you, people who claim to do the right thing and never do it, people who claim to be for the right policy and never actually do it. The AOCs, the Bernie Sanders, they talk about all this populist stuff and they don't do anything populist. They literally always endorse the machine. They always endorse the fucking, fucked up, cogged up, just shithole apparatus that you guys have. So, give credit where credit's due, bitch. Give credit where credit's due. Stop being so clearly one-sided about it. You want to criticize Donald Trump, you better be fucking harshly critical of Obama and harshly critical of George Bush. You want to talk about Republicans? You want to talk about populism? The populism complaint's ridiculous. Do some fucking research, Jen. Just do some research. Like, don't, before going on a show where, like, 500,000 people are going to watch you just say stupid shit. And I mean, just do some research, man. I mean, if you think you're a populist, I mean, 21,000 votes. I mean, that ain't populist of shit, bro. That ain't populist of shit. That is nothing. That is literally a fucking abomination to like a political race. And I mean, you just, I don't know, folks. I mean, every claim, everyone she made was nonsense, man. Every single claim she made was nonsense. Every single one of them. Not one stuck. Not one stuck. You can look at all of them. Not one of them fucking stuck. Every single fucking claim was shit, bro. Was such dog shit. I mean, Jen, we don't agree on more than we disagree on. We don't agree on anything. Because for me to agree on what you're saying, I need you to stop being so clearly, TDS and one-sided. I need you to be very pro good policy. Because if that's what you are, right, it's what you claim to be. So, I mean, if you're not pro, I don't know what this like fraudulent shit is. I mean, she's saying Obama had more opposition. I mean, you're just a nut. You're a nut. Get off the air. Get off the airwaves, man. I mean, look, I know I'm clinically insane. I know I need help. And I talk to a therapist, and she says that I should just, stop following the news. And I say, well, go fuck yourself. I mean, I don't say that. But I do tell her to go fuck herself. And, I mean, I don't like her that much. But, I mean, she's a good therapist, and it's not her fault. It's my fault. I'm accountable for my actions. So, I don't mind. I'm putting myself out there to be called a nut. You want to call me a nut? Email me. Tell me how much you hate me. Tell me, give me some, be hateful, right? Show me some hate speech. I want people to really despise the form I assume on this internet. But I just don't see how my insanity somehow would invalidate Jen's insanity. Because see, now this is someone who's running for office. You see, I'm not running for office. I don't plan to run for office. I plan on just screaming about people who are running for office. It's a much easier job. And I pride in being easier. And I think it's a lot, I think it may actually help more people because these people don't help anyone. So, I mean, I don't know. I think that you guys are really, I hope the comments in that video were very hateful. I hope that people are very critical of her stupid ideas. And I hope that she grows up. And I mean, we should create a world where people like Kanye can run on the Republican ticket. We should create a world where people like Kanye, who are very evangelical and they have the ability to preserve the ideas of Western civilization and promote fatherhood in the black community and do a lot of the good stuff that helps people and, decrease regulation where it's unnecessary on the middle and working class, Yeah, sure, go after corporate tax rates, make Amazon pay their taxes, but let's stop this fucking Biden tax plan shit. We'll have to do another episode with the Biden tax plan, how stupid it is. But I mean, I can tell you right now that I don't believe Jen's going to go anywhere with her political career. I don't think that she's actually, I don't think any substance that she talks about actually has resonated with people. I mean, 21,631 votes, 28% to 72%. You lost. It's like pretty embarrassing. I don't see that going up. She's one of those people who looks more like a social media person than they do an actual like someone who's actually going to turn out votes. You know what I'm saying? So like for example, Donald Trump has 90 million Twitter followers and he turned out about probably close to 80 million votes. Biden has 20 million followers and he turned out probably allegedly 80 million votes. So I mean, you can look at the clear calls to action. And Jen, I hope you realize that no one's going to ever call to your actions because your actions suck. Your ideas suck. You're intellectually inferior to anyone sitting at that table. I mean, even Ian's smarter than you. Ian's more aware with what's going on. Luke Rodnowski, man, you're great, man. Keep it up, man. I don't necessarily agree with you on stuff, but you hold everyone's feet to the fire. You're consistent. Kind of ease up on the Trump hate because I think you're really missing the point. I mean, I think you're really not evaluating the actual scope of Trump's power. The deep state machine, the apparatus, the entire corporatist structure moves around Trump no matter what. And you can look at that by looking at the withdrawals of the troops and seeing how all those special interests still protected a lot of the warmongering policies. And you can look at how he fires people. And I think we got to stop shaming him for firing people, man. Fire all these motherfuckers, man. Get these motherfuckers out of here, bro. Get these fucking warmongering warhawks the fuck out of office, man. Clean up the government, man. Clean up the CIA. Clean up the FBI. Clean up this bureaucratic bullshit, man. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just a fucking guy on the internet, guys. I think I've said enough. I think I've said enough about this stuff. I mean, I feel like, I hope that people don't think that I hate Jen. I don't hate Jen. I wish her well. I just think she has no business in politics and she has no business in public speaking. And I hope that she continues to dwindle and not really be successful in that way. I hope she makes more money doing something else. And I hope that she, I mean, she says her husband's a doctor. So, maybe she'll be fine financially. I just hope she doesn't, win any office. I mean, I just hope that, no one actually gives a shit about her. And it looks like no one does. So that's good. We should all applaud, give a nice round of applause for the fact that no one gives a fuck about Jen Perelman's political, aspirations. And I think we should continue to vote her out of things that she tries to get into. I think the Democratic Party should continue to corrupt itself, and people like her should just stay the fuck away, or they should just join the Republican Party, because that's what's happening right now, man. I mean, Trump brought an extra 8 million votes on the records. I mean, 8 million that are ballots that we have proof of. Which is higher than the ballots that we have proof of in Biden's case, at least. But 8 million ballots, about 5 million of them were registered Democrats, guys. So we are doing better and better by the year. Even though it looks like we're losing, we're not. We're winning. MAGA's here to stay. Trump's here to stay, baby. This is a world where we are the actual the party of empathy, the party of compassion, the party of the individual. We love everybody, and I know that for a fact. I've lived that with the MAGA crew, with the Trump 2020 gang. I love all you guys who are out there, getting out there, getting on the streets, protesting. Look at that. I mean, look how good we are, man. We've protested so much. We've had so many people in the streets in California just causing, making their, literally, dude. I mean, I love the Trump supporters in California, man. I love y'all. It makes me fucking emotional, man. These guys are going out there and they're making Garcetti and all these fucking hacks shit their fucking pants, man. These people are shitting their fucking pants, bro. These guys are shitting their fucking pants. I mean, I think that we're in a good place. I mean, look, this Texas lawsuit. I'm not a lawyer again, but I'm hearing a lot of stuff from the legal scholars on the left, legal scholars on the right. A lot of legal scholars on the right claim that this is outcome determinative, and it's supposed to be something that's substantial and palpable. I trust ACB. I trust the Supreme Court to rule in the favor of the individual, like in the New York scenario with Cuomo having his totalitarian rules and ACB being the deciding vote. I think we're in a good place because of that, and I'm glad. But I will say that, I don't have the most confidence in my systems right now, man. I think that there's a lot of cleaning up that we have to do as Republicans in a lot of these states, so that we don't actually go into a one-party order. And I think we have a lot of work to do, guys. We are not at all anywhere near done fighting, even if it's. I want Trump to win. I hope he does win. I know that YouTube's gonna try to fucking snipe me from 300 miles away because I said that. Look, YouTube, I'm not disputing what you guys are saying. I'm not disputing anything what they're saying. I'm just saying that there's different interpretations of the results, and I think that we'll have a better, clearer idea of what's happening in a few days. And they say Thursday, Friday is when we're going to hear some stuff about this Texas case. I don't know. Some Republicans, again, you don't know who's who. You don't know who is a fucking inside op and who's not. But I mean, some Republicans have claimed that this is not really that substantial, and this is not going to do anything. Some left scholars have been like, this is a joke. And now, granted, they've said that everything's a joke, and they kindly gloss over the fact that none of these cases were actually engaged on the merit of the case. They were all procedural, they were all very much you didn't file the right deadline and all that. I mean, it was very obviously disinfo campaign type of stuff, and it doesn't take a fucking, again, a political operative to realize that. I mean, it's very clear there's a war game going on right now, and it's an information war game, and we're constantly, trying to fight the left on this misinfo thing. And I mean, if you're an idiot out there, you probably believe that the right has more misinfo than the left, but you're a moron. I just want you to know that you're a complete moron, and you're one of the low information voters that they need to continue to keep abusing powers in America. So I hope you feel good about that. I wish you all well. Jen, I wish you well. Please get the fuck out of politics. I feel like I've done my job here. I feel like I've, gotten my endorphins released. I've ranted, yelled, raved. I hope that, this has a place in this whole commentary sphere. But, maybe we'll come back to it. I think we can. I don't mind doing 2 episodes about Jen. She sucks. We can come back. I see. The thing is, this is the beauty about this. I can just talk about whatever I want, however long I want. I don't give a fuck who listens to it. I mean, we can talk about everything. I think that we should try to come in with a little more, scripted information instead of just these like verbal diarrhea, voice blabbers. But hey, sometimes you got to do it, man. Sometimes you got to just fucking get on the air and just scream about shit because, I mean, no one's doing it. And I think we need to see more people get on the air, buy yourself a fucking microphone, just talk into the microphone, tell people how you feel, share it on platforms, let people hear it. Let's drive this grassroots movement. Let's make America, let's keep America great. Let's make the next, whatever happens now, let's make it great again. Let's continue to be the party of inclusivity. Let's continue to be the party of empowerment for the individual and empowerment for the championing for the disenfranchised. Let's continue to make sure ethnic employment stays at an all-time high and unemployment stays at an all-time low. Let's continue to push for more progressive taxes and better regulations on our small businesses and our working class. Let's make sure people who aren't earning their money aren't paying 40 to 50% of it in taxes. Let's just do that, right? Let's be consistent. Let's not lock people down, Jen, you're not a libertarian. I feel like the other guy say this one last thing. You're not a libertarian. You're an idiot. You're just a moron. You're just a low information dummy. You're literally backed by maybe 20,000 dwindling people. You're not going to win again. Please get out of politics. Try something else. It's going to, trust me, it'll be better. But, anyways, guys, I feel like I've said enough. I feel like I'm going to have to fucking, take a yoga class or like a meditation class after this. I feel like I need to get my temper under control. I'm just, fucking, it's ironic. I'm like the most triggered guy, and I'm not a liberal. I'm a fucking hardcore conservative. But all right, folks, I love y'all. For the fucking 70 that listen to this shit, maybe Tim will see this. Maybe Tim will see this and they'll give it a listen. I know that they don't really do their show 24/7. They're trying to do some more stuff. So we'll see. All right, guys, I'll catch y'all later. God bless America, and I don't know, share this shit, man. Do your fucking part, man. I'm doing my fucking part, so you do your fucking part, guys. Jesus Christ.